what are some things people can do to not take things personally or not compare? Is it by strengthening your chakras? Does that help?
Yes. So I always recommend the three pillars: chakra work, which works directly on the energy field. If each one of your chakras is doing its job properly, your life works. And your job is to give your chakras love and attention, and their job is to get every aspect of your life working. The second thing is work with the white light. It's a powerful healing energy that transmutes negativity into positivity. So there's areas of your life that aren't working. If you are feeling paranoid about what other people think about you, or you're taking on too much energy, put it on the weekly white light wish list or work with the white light. And then, of course, it's the day-to-day practice of mindfulness. It's the practice of presence, Eckhart Tolle would call it. It's the practice of realizing that people have egos and that we all have an ego, and learning how to associate and disassociate, so identify and disidentify from our egos. They're my recommendations. I recommended that since 2007, and I'm sure there will be my recommendations till the end of my life in this lifetime.
Well, you found it works. And the thing about the white light, now for people listening that are not familiar with your white light healing, you offer free white light healing every Monday. Is that correct? And I'll put a link on this for people to sign up. They could go to your website, School of the Modern Mystic, Belinda Davidson. I'll put links here. And the thing about the white light, and you and I have this very same philosophy about this, it's that when we start to entrain our energy to negative people or negative energy, or we start to get afraid of other people bringing us down, and then we start to shrink and do all that stuff, or we put our energy into their energy to try to figure out what they're thinking about us, and we totally disengage from our own energy field at that point in a way that's powerful for us. But the thing about the white light is it entrains you to a higher vibration, so you are the most powerful positive energy that can actually lift the energy of everyone and everything around you. So you're not dragged. It's instead of being dragged down about fear and negativity, you're actually lifted by and cleansed and harmonized as well. But it's such a powerful high vibration that the whole idea of being fearful of other people, it just seems ludicrous when you're in the energy of the white light. It's just you can't be in that energy and be in the white light at the same time.
Exactly. And that's why I'm an advocate for the white light. That's why it's become my entire life. And it's
Mm-hmm.
my life's mission and purpose to educate people about the teachings of the white light, because I spent my entire life until the year 2007 being so negatively affected by
Mm-hmm.
people's thoughts and vibrations and sicknesses that I too, like many empaths and psychics, had wanted to protect myself, shut
Always.
down.
Yeah.
But all that did was lower my vibration. It didn't even stop me taking on other people's vibration. When I had the experience with the white light in 2007, and it was the experience of this amazing beam of light coming down from the heavens, entering my chakra 12, working its way down all of my chakras to chakra 1, and healing me, I was instantly uplifted and knew in that moment that I didn't need to be protecting my energy or shutting down. All I needed to do was raise my vibrations. And through that, did I not only protect myself from negativity, because the white light acts like a filtration system, only letting the good stuff in and keeping the bad stuff out, it actually then was healing people around me. So I became a powerful portal for change. I was helping other people transmute. So this is the thing: when you become fearful and shut down, you're dragging other people down too, because your
Yeah.
vibrations are melding with vibrations of others.
Yeah. And this is why I feel like the law of entrainment is even more powerful than the law of attraction, because you want to entrain your energy. So just like pendulums start to swing with the strongest pendulum, like the weaker pendulums will swing with the stronger pendulum. If you are afraid of negative people, or you're afraid of negative environments, or you're afraid of a negative thought, or whatever that fear of negativity in all forms is. And I want to talk to you more about that. But if you're afraid of that, you're perpetuating it and you're entraining to that energy. But the white light, and it's you can't feel that there, but it actually does entrain the energy of everything around you. So you become so positive and so radiant that not only do you stop caring about what other people think about you, it does lift them up as well. It does
Yes.
start to change. So people are always like, how do I change my negative husband? Or how do I change it? You change yourself.
Yes. And you leave them alone. Yes.
Because you're powerless to change someone else, aren't you? Unless you change yourself. And then you put the power back in something that you can be proactive about. And amazingly, they do change because it's impossible. Either they become no longer a vibrational match for you and you move on, or you lift their energy. It's just, why keep focusing on how to change other people?
Yes. Yes. And the actual process is that when you work on your energy and you realize that you need to change your energy to change your life, you begin strengthening your chakras. They begin working for you. And you realize that your job in the manifesting process is actually just to keep your vibrations raised. Do you know, Eckhart Tolle says there's nothing that you need to manifest, because once you start to be present, and I would add a little bit to that. He doesn't see it like that, talk about that like that. But once you become present, then you change the vibration of your energy field. Your energy field is primary. Your life circumstance is secondary. So what automatically happens is you begin to draw in all those things that you love. That's why I rarely actively manifest anymore. I don't need to. I actually just work on my chakras and I allow my soul to show me what seems right and good for me. And I also allow my soul to bring it to me. Now, I don't really manifest per se anymore. I don't need to.
Belinda, I'm so happy you say that. I personally, it feels kind of contrived sometimes to try to manifest something. What usually happens for me, I'd love to hear how this is for you, but I receive inspiration from spirit about how I'm best to serve the world. And that brings me joy because I'm in my purpose, then I'm in alignment with what I was born to do, and it brings me joy. So it's already manifesting joy with just the idea of it. And then I maintain that energy through the process. And I already talked about what happens when I don't. But the more I'm present, you just receive your next step. You're receiving
Yes.
inspiration, and that is intuition. It's so much about being present. So this is why meditation, you are such an advocate for meditation, and you've created a meditation practice that I feel is really accessible. Your chakra cleanse for busy. Am I saying it right? Chakra cleanse for. I know
Yes.
it is CCM from the school.
You do. Yeah, we call it CCM affectionately because we can't be bothered to say chakra cleanse meditation.
Yeah,
But
chakra
yes,
cleanse meditation for busy people. It's very accessible, and I think it's because your meditation, it is my daily practice now. It's what I use to strengthen my chakras and change my energy. I was always doing chakra meditations even before I met you, because I had found that to be my greatest resource as an empath, and to open my psychic channels. I just found your technique to be the best, or for me, right? So, and for a lot of people, I find it to be super easy and accessible and awesome. So, just an aside, just saying. But I think what happens is with meditation, they call it a meditation practice because not only is it lifting your energy and changing your energy, but you have to take that practice into your real life. You can't just meditate for 15 minutes and then go into crazy for the rest of the 24 hours of the day. You have to practice that energy throughout the day.
I agree with that. But it's good that they're even starting with 15 minutes,
Yes.
isn't it? Like
Yes.
I sometimes say to people, start with 5.
Yeah.
But I do agree, and that's why I advocate the 3 pillars. That's why I say you need to chakra cleanse, work with the white light, and then bring the mindfulness practice into your everyday life. And in the school, like you know, I always reference Eckhart Tolle and also Russ Harris, who wrote The Happiness Trap. I do see myself an expert in the chakric system because I'm a medical intuitive. I've read in my 17-year career as a medical intuitive thousands and thousands of energy fields. I dedicated my life to understand the white light. I spent 3 years working with the white light every day. I still work with the white light every day, numerous times a day, before I started sharing the teachings of the white light. So I do feel I am an expert in those two facilities, but I am more of a student to Eckhart Tolle, and I have been working on mindfulness since 2007 as well. So I do agree that we need to bring mindfulness into our everyday life, and that's why I advocate mindfulness. But even starting with a 5-minute meditation a day brings benefits, because you need to, like I spoke about before, make that shift from running around, striving, seeking, searching to change your life. You need to stop pushing and striving and trying, and you need to move into getting your energy working first and foremost. And then
Yes.
it becomes a habit. So in our household, my husband gets up very early every morning and usually meditates for a couple of hours. That's his practice. My practice is a bit different. I meditate usually 3 to 4 times a day, but at various times in the day. Now, there are some days I spend the entire day in that vibration because I'm channeling white light. That is advanced for most people, but we have been practicing this for some years, and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's all about getting the energy right. So if there's an issue in our lives, we take it to meditation. We take it, if I'm not in flow, if I can feel there's a push or a strive or something's not working in the day, I will stop, make sure I'm being mindful. If I can feel I've found the flow again, I'll continue. If not, I'll take myself away and do the inner work. That's how much we know that the inner work knows, that the inner work works. And what is amazing from that, and Deepak Chopra talks about this in his amazing book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, you get to the point where you do nothing and everything gets done for you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there yet. I'm still doing something. But I see the productivity in my life. I see the way things get done for me. I see the way that I've built a team and a successful, we're using that term again, it's relative,
Well,
of course,
use
successful
that as
school.
successful, right?
Yeah.
It's moving forward.
Yes, it's big and building and moving and well known and well viewed by many people. But what's happened is I have more and more and more time for meditation, more and more time for the things I love. So people have to make that shift. They have to go to the internal, the energy field. But the byproduct of that is you get to a point where you just don't do so much and things get done for you.
That's amazing. So I would love to talk to you about this sense that a lot of healers have, and a lot of everybody, actually, it's not just healers, about being positive all the time and thinking positive, and what that does in terms of your energy as well, and in terms of always having people think that being that by doing so much and by giving so much to other people, that you're actually doing what you're meant to do in the world, and that sense of over, like, we confuse service with servitude. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're
Yes.
always giving, and we have this very out of balance heart chakra, and then we feel like this is what it means to be a good person, is to always be giving and doing and sharing. And can you talk a bit about that, because it's a little bit warped right now?
Well, I think the problem's twofold. I think, firstly, it comes from our religious backgrounds, particularly the Christian one in the Western world. Jesus Christ was poor and always in servitude, which I don't think was true at all. So there's that Christian influence. Not only that, women, more than men, are conditioned to believe that a good woman puts other people first. She puts her
Yes.
children first. She puts her husband first. She
Yes.
makes sure that other people are looked after emotionally. So the fact of the matter is, the only thing you need to do in your life, ever, is get your vibration right. Now, I'm going to say that again because I can feel a collective sigh of relief from
Yes,
people
please.
listening to this
Please,
when I
please,
say
please.
that. The only thing we ever have to get right in life is our vibration. Our job, or the only sole purpose we have, is to make sure that our vibration is right. And the rest is not of our concern. Now, that doesn't mean we won't show up and act in the world, but our job is not to make sure that our children are happy. Our job is not to make sure our husband's happy. Our job is not to make sure that other people are happy. Now, that is going to sound very hard and perhaps like a slap in the face to some people listening, but it's a truth. Because when your energy works, you're a positive influence in everyone's life. The good mums have good chakras. That's a fact. It's a fact. Now, they might not know about the chakra system, but they're certainly doing something that's giving them good energy. So they're giving them good energy, it's giving them good chakras, and the chakras are making their life work. So what we have to do, firstly, as women, is we need to move away from this. Our job is to make other people happy before ourselves. It's very conditioned in us. We have to move away.
So guilty. So guilty.
Yes. And we have to move away from the conditioning that a good spiritual person,
oh, please talk about this.
a good spiritual person is not allowed to look good, is not allowed to have lots of money, is not allowed to have bad days, is not allowed to swear, is not allowed to drink alcohol, is not, like the, superstars, they can get away with what they want, can't they? Like they're allowed to earn heaps of money, look a certain way, and we kind of expect that. But when it comes to spirituality, we need to be puritanical.
Oh, it's so awful. and nobody can be, and that's not even necessary. It's not a good thing, because we want to experience the full range of human emotions. So what we do is we have this idea about what a good spiritual person is. Like you said, you never swear, you never although that's not my idea of one, but I love to swear sometimes. You never swear, you never have bad days. So there's this kind of BS in the spiritual community that's perpetuated by the spiritual community. It's not even just Christianity. It's perpetuated by kind of within.
Well,
please go on.
No, I just wanted to say, for me personally, the most judgmental experiences I've had, by hands down, has been in the Christian church and in the spiritual community.
Yeah. Always very judgmental about what, you're right, I'm wrong, or this is the way it is. So I really, really see so many people get destroyed by this. I just posted something about it, because this is an 8 universal year in numerology, and there's a lot of BS out there about how 8, because it's the number of abundance and prosperity, that just means that money and power is going to just come to you and everything's by magic because you're in this 8 year. And then this has been an emotionally difficult year for some people, because what that energy teaches you is to in order to have prosperity, it means abundance, means that you're experiencing the fullness of what it means to be a human. So you're experiencing your passions. And so most of the time we buried that because we're afraid of being different. Like you were saying, that fear of being weird. We're afraid of people judging us for not being spiritual because we want certain things, or we have a desire. And the thing is, your desire could be divinely inspired. Like, for instance, I always knew that I was going to reach an international audience. And I actually, something that I fought against because it felt weird to me. And so I didn't want that from my ego. I actually wanted that because I knew it was part of my purpose, right? So it's this weird thing. Like, we're like, this is wrong, or, this is not what a spiritual person wants. We get very conflicted within us. How do you see that reading in people's energy fields, and what can we do about it? Because I really feel it's debilitating.
Well, I think the core issue is we're all looking for role models.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for someone to pave the path. I know for me personally, I was looking for role models for a long time. Now, most of my role models, apart from Eckhart Tolle, happen to be beings on another dimension, so it's a bit easier. But even for me, when I saw Eckhart Tolle, it was an amazing but challenging experience, because you want to become like your role model. You think that's the right way. And when I saw Eckhart Tolle, I had a spiritual experience. I actually haven't shared this before, but here we go. I had a spiritual experience. I felt his spirit come to me as he was walking up on stage. Now, this is a psychic experience I had personally, not something that Eckhart Tolle personally said to me. And he touched my shoulder and he said, Belinda, there are many ways to God. You have to really embrace yours. And I needed to hear that because he spoke that day in that seminar a lot about it's not important to have visions, it's not important to be psychic, it's not important to be intuitive. Now, he wasn't dissing the spiritual, he was just saying it's really about being in the present moment. Now, I completely agree with him, but I saw very clearly in that workshop, which was confronting for me because I've always, since I've been doing mindfulness, I've been trying to not have so many visions, not see so many cosmic things. And so it was challenging, yet a relief, because I saw so clearly that his job is to talk about presence and get us in the here and now, but my job is to talk about the 5 higher chakras. So in a way, and this is my interpretation only, but I really feel that he's a prophet about chakras 1 to 7, because he talks about enlightenment, he talks about presence, but I see myself as a guide to the higher chakras, because ever since I was a small child, I've been able to see the other realms. I do journeys and courses into the cosmic chakras so that we can download our soul blueprint, discover our purpose. So my point that I'm making in all of this, Kari, is simply I understand why we have big expectations of so-called spiritual people. And I too have had that. And when I saw Eckhart Tolle, it was amazing. I love him, and I'll go to everything that he does in Australia or wherever I am in the world. But I saw so clearly that I am just psychic. I am a medium. I am that person who closes her eyes and I'm in other worlds. And my job is to advocate and transcribe that, even if Eckhart Tolle does not think that's of importance right now. So for me, I really saw the projection, my own fears and insecurities I was projecting onto Eckhart, and how I was trying to not be so psychic and not be so much into the psychic because it was about the present moment. So I think it's natural that people are looking for role models, and what they want then is the role models to be a certain way that fits their criteria of what it is to be a spiritual person.